Get rid of your credit card debt, get a lower monthly payment, and skip your next 2 house payments at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket to save thousands with SaveWithConrad.com. Find out how much money you can save right now at SaveWithConrad.com.
Oh, you didn't know?
It's that time, so come on down. We're walking in the Dogg Pound Road, D-O-double-G, Dogg and Cash. Talking shop, reminiscing on a flashback. Hall of Fame name with a legacy that's long. That's the legend of the Armstrongs. Questions get answered, oh, you didn't know? Let's start the show.
Welcome back to the show. It's Road Dogg and Cassio, and you're listening to...
Oh, you didn't know? But I kind of want to, like, commercialize it and go, I'm Road Dogg and he's Cassio. You're listening to Oh, You Didn't Know.
Hey!
Ah, and then we both do jazz hands.
Ah!
Yeah. So it's just something I'm working with.
Okay.
And you can get exclusive
That was all
content.
improv right there. Sorry, guys.
Exclusive content at bagofjohnsons.com.
We've
I'm
got to
Brian
nail it
R.D.
down.
at Brian R.D. James. He's at the Cassio Kid. Welcome.
By
to
the
Oh,
way,
You Didn't Know.
week 2 of the new graphics, and people
I
are
know.
loving it.
I tell you what, who's loving it? This guy right here. I am loving it to death, man. I don't know. I think you said Dom's doing it. I think he has a kid doing it for him.
Yeah,
and he's taking the credit. That's how all these dirt sheet writers work.
That's fine.
Yeah.
They're copying and pasting from somewhere else.
Anyway, so we'll get. I don't believe that. He said he strong-armed his brother. Strong-armed his brother.
He
Marcus
found a Middle Eastern podcast called Shmo Shmoo Shit and Schno, and he just changed it to fit ours.
That's it. But this one's beautiful, Dom.
Yeah,
so thank
it's
you
great.
for ripping it off.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
loving
great.
it.
We're gonna start. We got a hardcore topic literally today. Dog, the hardcore title run.
I don't even watch that stuff
for
anymore.
yourself.
So my history is my browser.
A lot of
cleared.
soft now, or
No, none. I have kicked the bucket.
Popular with women.
It's a
good
stuck
category.
the wagon. I have pulled the. Never mind. Let's just.
Hogs is a good category.
Pogs
Yeah.
or rogs. Wink. Get it in there. Hey, well, by the way, I like your shirt. I feel like I'm dressed down.
Man.
I mean, this is my Marine
I know.
Corps shirt. I'm pretty proud of my service.
Usually we kind of match, but you went
really
T and I went.
Yeah. But we do match. There's still maroon and navy.
It's from
they
that,
match, bro.
From the very elusive George line from Walmart.
Oh yeah, George.
Yeah, top shelf.
Was that the monkey that dressed in yellow? I was curious, George.
It's just the Walmart personal brand. Is what that is.
George. I have mine is Rick. Mine's Rick's. Rick's.
It's
at Costco.
Kmart brand.
At
Costco.
No, I don't do that. I don't think we have Costco here. We have Sam's Club.
Yeah. Well, this is when you
look
gotta
great.
go when you gotta go visit your mom at church and you go, I don't have any church clothes that fit anymore. So
And she comes with that shirt.
Yeah.
She brings it to you.
and you go,
as
got
well.
it. She was. I knew you were coming.
I
knew you were coming.
knew you were going to wear that Ric Flair shirt again.
Look in the closet. Yeah. I don't know what Space Mountain is, but we're not wearing it to
We're
church.
not wearing it to
again.
church. Can tell you that much, mister.
You're not wearing the 69 podcast jersey. I don't know why my mom's from Jersey all of a sudden, but she's like a Southern Belle to the max. And I went, you're not wearing a jersey.
It doesn't matter. She's not listening. You can make her wherever you want her.
Oh, I
from.
know that.
Speaking of the 69 jersey, box of gimmicks.
Now. There's our merchandise right there.
Yeah.
We only got,
You didn't know? And
I believe, a handful of those left. We only made 69, dog. I can't believe that. They might not be available now. We need to check that. But
yeah, we should check and see if anybody buys our merchandise.
yeah, I don't know who's got those numbers. We'd love to see them. All right.
Oh, inside jokes.
Hey, I feel like they're just going to boxofgimmicks.com and they click it and it said, "Just kidding. You thought we had merch?" Or we're just talking about fake merch every week.
You guys don't have merch. You're not a quality enough show to have merchandise.
Before we get started, let's have a fun little segment we called Meme of the Week.
Oh,
a random
or Meme of the Week.
We don't know what it is. Our producer Dom throws it up and we instant react. Here we go. Our Meme of the Week.
Let me see it, Dom. In 3.
The Meme of the Week.
Nope, just a
That's
horrible
our
review.
5-star segment. We'll go ahead and knock this out while it's up.
Or not.
That was last week. Here we go.
Oh, you know what?
You may be cool, but you'll never be New Age outlaws posing with super soakers cool.
Why was my head always really close to Billy's privates?
Look, it's got his kiss.
In a lot of shots, you'll see that. But also super cool to be in the Super Soaker commercial.
Did you keep the super soakers?
So truth be told, we did a Super Soaker commercial way back when me and X-Pac and Billy did it.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Cole, it was like his first week there, and he was in the commercial with us. And like he had makeup all done and he was done all up. And they came to us and said, no matter what, don't shoot him in the face. We can change. We have other changes for his clothes, but don't shoot him in the face. Okay. I mean, good Lord. You really? You know what I mean? Really?
I wasn't thinking about it till you said
it. And so they go, okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Cell phones off, walkies and blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. And kid looks at me and he goes, in his face, right?
Yeah. Right in his face. In the face.
I said, you damn right. Man, bless his heart, because those super soakers, and I'm not kidding, they shoot, man. They will shoot 50 feet, you know? And so we were 6 feet away from him tops, and we both just douched him, man. It was horribly mean and very degenerative.
Next time you see Mr. Cole, you should ask him if he remembers Super Soaker.
Oh, no, he does.
Okay.
Very, very clearly, and I'll tell you why. Because he's still there today doing it, man, and doing it better. I'd say this is our generation's Jim Ross. The generation before that was Gordon Soley or Vince and Gorilla or whoever, you know, like this. Michael Cole's the deal. He's the voice of the WWE, no doubt. Having said that, he's still there, and X-Pac has literally apologized to him for that about 25 times now, and it's a big running rib for Sean, for Michael Cole, to say, you know, like, hey, remember we did that Super Soaker commercial back in the day? And I go, dude, have I apologized to you for that? And he'll go, yes, you and X-Pac have both apologized to me. But at the time, dude, we were in our heyday, and we were probably high, and he was a new kid on the block. You know what I mean? And it was... Yeah. We were the last of a dying breed.
Welcome to the E, baby. Welcome to the E.
We were the last of a dying breed, and maybe there's a reason that attitude was hot for a brief minute, and then it was not for a brief minute. You know what I mean?
How did you and Billy do the shoot though? Was he in the commercial or just you and Pac?
Oh no, me and Pac were in the commercial. Me and Billy were in the photo shoot, and they did other stuff and had us like.
Oh, that was just the print ad for the Super Soaker.
Oh, so for Super Soaker. So yeah,
there we go.
And so me and Kid were in the thing.
You don't have to get specifics. Does Super Soaker money pay a car payment or?
No, it paid a
is
car.
That part of? Oh, a whole car. There we go. That's what I needed.
Yeah. So it was. Look, it was good. You know, back in the day, it was good to be the king. You just knew that your head was going to get cut off any time because there was a lot of other kings wanting that spot.
Super Soaker money sounds like good money.
Yeah.
All right, and also our 5-star segment of the week, you get run down with
Totino's.
Good
Totino's money is good money.
Yeah, that's why Sheamus has got a couple limos, brother.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, pizza roll money ain't no joke, my friend. Let's go to our 5-star review of the week, since Dave Meltzer gives you so many 1 3/4 stars in your career.
3/4, 1 3?
There was that one.
I think you're misspoken there.
It was you didn't even get in the match. So it was just Billy.
That's why I got it.
Yeah, it was just Billy.
I get that.
So we're going to our 5-star review of the week. 5 stars. 5 stars.
Review.
Somebody gave us 5 stars.
The person is not thinking straight.
Hidden Gems. Joey Alpha says, don't ever let the subject or title lead you into thinking that there is not something for you specifically in each and every episode. Love the show and open honesty. Hidden Gems. Thank you, Joey Alpha.
Yeah, thank you very much, Joey Alpha. That you should work somewhere and be
called
he's correct. Joey Alpha.
By the way, you've got so far 10 minutes into the show, no hardcore title talk. So that should prove. Don't let the title fool you.
Don't let the title fool you. We have no idea what's going on over here at Oh You Didn't Know, and we like it that way.
We're gonna get some background questions to get us to the end. But maybe.
We're going to talk pizza rolls.
You don't know what we're going to talk about.
No.
But there you go. Our meme of the week and our 5-star review of the week.
Wait, what was the meme? It was me and Billy.
You and Super Soakers. We're never going to be that cool. Yeah. By the way, I'm craving
by the way, Dom
pizza
is
rolls.
A high schooler. Yeah. You going to dip
when's
them
the last
in
time you ate
too?
pizza rolls?
Me?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Here's what you got to do.
Do you think
How'd
I'm
you
kidding?
cook them? How do you cook them?
I don't know. I think my wife air fried them.
Well, that's the move now.
Okay.
They don't bust in the air fryer.
Yeah.
I used to bake them, and people would make fun because, usually you just microwave them, let them explode all over the place.
You burn your mouth off.
Yeah, but now I love baking them.
Yeah.
Or now the air fryer, they don't bust. Baking them, and then I like to do this move. Okay.
Okay.
I like to go through. They're piping.
I feel like
hot.
you're smoking pot right now with your hand like that.
I'm holding the corner of a pizza roll.
Oh, a pizza roll. Okay.
And I'm going to bite one corner off.
Ooh,
Just nibble.
Yeah.
And so that'll let the hot air go out.
Pop it. You gotta burst that bubble,
and I
dog.
set that down.
Because that
I don't want
bubble
any
is
filling. I
straight.
just want bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And set it down.
Then when I get the corners bit, I have Chipotle Tabasco. Chipotle flavored
You put
Tabasco.
it in the hole?
Put it in the hole.
So let me tell you this. Mm-hmm. My son-in-law,
are you engorged?
who is also not smart. I'm just kidding. He's a good kid. He did the exact same thing that you just said, and I thought, what are you doing? He had and it turned out my Texas Pete hot sauce was not hot enough for him. And it might have been in the cabinet for a really long time. But he did the same thing and put the hot sauce in the hole.
Yeah. Good move. He's a pro.
He is a pro. I just ate them and dipped them in ranch like a 12-year-old.
Now, I heard what also good, if you don't take the corners off, but once you get them out of the air fryer, Dog, the internet trend now is take that, put it in a bowl, with some little olive oil, a little bit, and some melted butter.
Ooh, that sounds.
And then
better.
sprinkle some garlic and parsley and oregano, all the herbs and spices.
Oh, you doctored it up.
Shake it up
like a garlic knot.
But again, it's a pizza roll. We're supposed to be eating them fast. You know what I mean?
Bro, you ain't doing nothing but making a garlic knot.
You're talking about a garlic knot and meat sauce. Is all that is.
You think you're from Scicely. You think you're from Scicely. You ain't doing nothing but making a garlic knot.
By the way, I've seen the demographic numbers. We're huge in Scicely.
Huge in Scicely. They love us and Uncle, the uncle from John Stamos from Full House.
John Stamos! Yeah, if he had a podcast, he'd be number one. We'd be number two in Scicely.
Uncle Jesse. That's what
Uncle Jesse's podcast.
Thank
Uncle
you,
Jesse's
Dom,
house.
for being an old pervert.
I thought Uncle Jesse was from Dukes of Hazzard.
He was too. He was from there too.
I just
Uncle
realized
Jesse
there's
got
two
around.
Uncle Jessies.
Yeah.
How did we end up with two TV Uncle Jessies?
I'm going to ask you if they weren't the same person, because I never saw them together.
That's a fact. I did not see them together. Oh, you hit me with solid logic.
I love how quickly you switch to fact.
I thought about it, never seen them together.
Right?
Ever.
They might be somewhere together with Elvis and Scicely.
Maybe the Duke, when he was with the Dukes, that was all prosthetics. and then he took it off and joined Full House.
That might be the case. And if it is, I'd like to see him.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. I'd like to see him mid Mrs. Doubtfire. You know what I mean? Like he's, a backstage shot.
Hey, he's just got hair down from Uncle Jesse on the dude. The white beard.
Yeah.
And then he's got the hair, the good-looking hair, the whole deal.
Yeah.
Just got through playing with the Beach Boys. You know what I mean?
See that. Yeah.
He plays drums for the Beach Boys.
Who does?
John Stamos.
Uncle Jesse?
Yeah. The new Uncle Jesse, John Stamos.
He don't either.
Yeah.
Hey, is
he'll hit Kokomo with you in 2 seconds.
Oh, I know. I've seen him.
Jamaica.
Ooh, I wanna take
it to Bermuda. Bahama, come on, pretty
Sorry,
mama.
we can't get it together. One of us is too white.
Montego, baby, waddle, go down to Kokomo. Yeah. We'll get there fast, and then we'll
take it slow.
That's
I don't know the
where
parts.
we wanna go.
Where to go?
Hey, now we're getting requests for Snoop John B next.
We committed. That's what I'm so sorry for to the viewer. You know what I mean?
We were not going to not finish it. I tell you that.
But we shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying?
That's correct. We should have finished it on the first note. I think when I said he played on Kokomo, they got the point. I didn't need to bury the song after that.
God almighty. Bless our hearts.
No, Dom's telling us to do Snoop John B. Maybe that's our new segment. We start every show off with a Beach Boy tune.
Ooh, man. Huh? No, we shouldn't.
My little Deuce Coupe next week on Ask Dog Anything.
That's what I did to Michael Cole. Oh, my little douche coupe. You don't know.
My little douche Cole. My douche Cole. All right, here we go. We got to get into some kind of wrestling.
Hold on a minute. No, we don't.
What?
You make me laugh. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's talk wrestling.
You know what? I'm so conditioned. I thought you were going to say something bad after that. All right, look, you make me laugh. But get it together.
No, I say you make me laugh. Don't ever get it together. That's what I say. And the minute you do, I'm out.
Well, I'm used to my wife. That was funny. Get it together.
You're an
adult.
We're talking about buying a home here.
We're trying to make a budget.
But it's not the Ronaldo McDonald house. But I don't know.
All right, here we go. We're going to get into the hardcore title run, Dog.
God.
Which
you said. A lot of drugs.
You said on
Hardcore
Twitter
drugs.
yourself was your favorite singles run.
Yeah.
Why was it special to you, Dog?
Well, honestly, because it was my only singles run that was any run at all. You know what I mean? And it was very short-lived. If we got down to brass tacks, it probably not long. It was probably went on too long, but I did think it was entertaining, and it may have been, gone on for a summer or so. But look, I had a really good time personally. Look, I was into my drugs then for sure, but personally, I didn't think I could do it on my own. I'm an egomaniac with an inferiority complex, and if you know what you know, then you know what I've seen. But so I totally forgot what we were talking about. Was it
what I am?
Totino's?
What I am?
Yeah. No.
About your singles run. And
Yeah. So it was the only one I had. I was scared to do it. I ended up really liking where I was at and what I was doing. And I'm sure we'll get into that some more as we talk. I don't want to give that pizza roll money away just yet.
Well, let's get into it. Mr. McMahon presented the WWF Hardcore Championship to Mick Foley on the November 2nd, 1998 edition of Raw. Dog, when you heard about it, when it's presented, what did you think of adding this title to the WWF?
Well, look, I'll tell you this much. I loved the fact that it happened. Excuse me. I get emotional when we talk about chair shots to the head. No, I'm very glad that it did because I loved it. I think there's room for it today. But my argument against it today would be, if you had that, then you have to have that on TV. Then you have to go hardcore. Then that's not special when you want to go there in a heated angle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's on with all the other stuff, they can't be as hardcore. And
if it's normal to do all that, then when you get to Hell in the Cell and all that comes out, or whatever is the end, the finishing product of a hot angle or a hot story that's been going on, it just normalizes the hardcore aspect, or the dare I say violent aspect of those things, and it should warrant, where you're at in a story should warrant, I'm going to hit you with something now. You know what I mean? It's not just every week that's what we do. And so that would be my argument against having that hardcore title today.
Well, if you're like me and most people, I would imagine that are wrestling fans, when you think of hardcore, if not the first, one of the first names you think about is Mick Foley. So how special was it him to be presented with this title first?
Well, it's the obvious choice, right? It's almost like, it's a no-brainer to me. If you're going to give this title to somebody, it's somebody who has deserved it, who has put their body through hell for the viewer, but for himself too. No, let's not get that twisted. And so he was the guy to give it to. He was the king, who had the head onto which you put that crown. And so that's why he was crowned king of hardcore with that new hardcore title. And now he started making that pizza roll money, dog.
Dog, on these Ask Dog Anything episodes, we always get food questions. And right now, somebody might be out there looking for wholesome, convenient meals for these sunny, active days now that summer is officially here. Yeah, you don't want to spend time in the kitchen. You want to spend time outside. And Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, is ready for you. They can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track reaching your goals. That way, if you're unlike me and you want to give the best beach body you can, you need to get our friends at Factor. Yeah, that way you can stay outside and look great. More time, more energy. Yeah, I said more energy. You need an extra boost to support your wellness goals this summer. You can try the Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. Yeah, and you've got the new upscale line with Factor, the Surf and Turf, the Surf and Surf meal options like roasted garlic filet mignon and shrimp, and Cajun spice shrimp and salmon. That's it. Delicious, flavor-packed options on the menu each week to fit a variety of lifestyles. If you're on keto, if you are calorie smart, if you're vegan and veggie, maybe like we said, you need that extra protein, they've got it all, and all of it is prepared by chefs and approved by dietitians, and each meal has all of the ingredients you need to feel satisfied all day long while meeting your goals. With Factor, you can rest assured you're making a sustainable choice. They offset 100% of their delivery emissions to your door and source 100% renewable electricity for their production sites and offices, and feature sustainably sourced seafood in their meals. So this June, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door. Ready in just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. Here's how you can get in on it. We've got a great deal for all of our Oh You Didn't Know listeners. Head to factormeals.com/OUDK50 and use code OUDK50, and they're going to give you 50% off your first box. Yeah, that's code OUDK50 at factormeals.com/OUDK50 to get 50% off your first box. And we appreciate Factor for supporting the Oh You Didn't Know podcast this summer. By the way, shout out, part of the ad-free shows family as well. Foley's Pod is a great podcast here on the team.
Because he's a great storyteller. And that's why he is what he is and is who he is because he's a great storyteller. And sometimes in the story, the good guy's got to fall off a building, and he doesn't mind being that guy. You know what I mean? And that's Mick in a nutshell.
There's been a lot of people over the years talk about these type of, quote, hardcore matches, Dog, and how they were, quote, bad for the business. What do you say to that?
Look, there's an argument to be made for that, and I don't disagree with that because there are valid points on both sides of the argument. I myself just actually suggested we don't do it nowadays because it does normalize this kind of craziness and this weaponry and you know what I mean. So it does normalize that. So look, I don't know, but there's definitely an argument for both sides. I don't think it killed the business. You know, I'm sure Jim Cornette would think some of this stuff killed the bit. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he would or not, to tell you the truth. I'm just talking through name dropping Cornette. You know what I mean? And if you don't know, he ain't going. So what like, I don't think it killed the business as we see today. Other company doing good business overseas. We're doing great business domestically and overseas. Like, it's just business is a booming, and business is good. And so to say anything killed the business is just not true. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you young kids are going to kill the business because you're working too fast. Oh, bullcrap. Speed up, old man. Yeah, catch up, and mustard.
Mick loses the title eventually to Big Boss Man in a ladder match on Raw, and a few weeks later, you and Billy would drop the tag team titles to Ken Shamrock and Boss Man.
Ah, son of a bee sting.
Did you know at this point that they were going to set you and Billy up for a singles run?
Yes, I did. I was going to say no, but yes, I did. This is the time where I literally went in and asked Vince to please not split us up because I don't think I can do it without Billy. And that's just me being honest. Like, I honestly, there might have been tears shed too, to be quite honest with you. Wow. And when I say might have been, I mean I cried. And look, that's where I was. I want to be the first out of the curtain with the microphone, but hey, be right behind me, be close. You know what I mean? And that's how I felt. I needed him. I felt like I needed him. And when I was told I wasn't going to have him, it's as simple as that. I was like, no, I need him. I need something next. I can't stand out here alone. You know what I mean? It was almost, I don't want to say standing out there naked because I don't want to put that visual in your head. By the way, you're welcome. But
thinking about it,
it scared the crap out of me. That's where I was at. It scared me to death that I was going to have to do this on my own.
What does Vince say to you?
He tells me, you're going to be great. Like, this is going to be good for you. And it's going to be good for Ben. I knew it was going to be good for Billy because I knew what they had in mind and I knew what he looked like. You know what I mean? Like, I stood next to him and slept with him for... Wait.
Same room.
Oh, I wanted to stop there just so people could use that and say, what? You know what I mean? So I just stopped for that dramatic
We'll cut my
pause.
part out.
Yeah, if you would.
Yeah, it'll just be you spooning.
I knew Billy was going to do great. I knew Billy was going to go on to do great things, and I didn't have the same confidence in myself, and that's all there was to it. Vince saw what I think some people saw once I became the hardcore champion. Like, okay, this white trash dude's all right. And so I think it turned out being okay. I just didn't see that happening. I'm a big future tripper, and I think we've talked about this before. That means that you forecast fear onto future events, stuff that ain't happened yet. I didn't know if I would succeed, if I would stand or fall as an individual talent. But I projected fear onto the future and said, oh my God, I can't do it alone. And that's, who do I think I am? Nostradamus? I don't know. Sorry.
Well, here we go. Here's what happens in the future as you are worried about it. Billy seems focused on the IC title, and the next night on Raw, you would defeat the Boss Man for the hardcore title. This is from our friends over at The Torch. Road Dogg beat Big Boss Man to win the hardcore title when Mankind interfered at 6 minutes and 53 seconds before the match. Road Dogg did the Outlaw intro. He did some mic work and talked Boss Man into putting his title on the line. They battled all over the arena. Late in the match, they battled through the crowd and into the area that was closed off to the fans. Boss Man tied a rope around Road Dogg's neck and repeatedly slammed him into the wall. Mankind came out, threw a net over Boss Man. Mankind hit him with what appeared to be a nightstick, which allowed Road Dogg to score the pin. The old heel in the net gimmick, Dog. But how big of a win was this for you, coming from what it was, the title itself, and who you won it from?
Huge deal for me personally. I get goosebumps hearing it. I would love to watch it right now, but we can't. But you might can if you go on Peacock. I don't know. But so when I love that he put the noose around my neck, and we were inside a VOM in a big venue, so you can imagine the balconies and stuff go up, and there's kind of a VOM where you can get into the venue with a vehicle or whatever, and he just slings me back and forth into these metal guardrails, and it was hurting so bad, but it looked so awesome and felt so cool that I was just taking it. You know what I mean? And it was just, and when you watch it, I think you'll feel the same way. I don't know, but look, it was very special to me, man. It was this hardcore title, and then I kind of had some fun on TV with it, and I think they were entertaining, fun matches, and I think part of that was the sadomasochistic part of me that said, let's just get to the arena early and figure out where to beat the crap out of each other. You know what I mean? And that was kind of the mentality that I had, is I would walk around the venue and go, okay, we'll put this here, and we'll put a table up here, and you know what I mean? And we'd set it all up and come up with this story of a fight, you know what I mean, where it's not, but there's ups and downs, and there's a heat section over here, but that's where we're in the back, and another favorite, like that was a favorite of mine, and look, I got the picture over my shoulder here, is from that specific match. It's like I said earlier, it's there with the hardcore title in my hand, blood coming out of my mouth, noose around my neck, and I looked almost like I'm in shape because I just got done wrestling a match. So it's like really one of my favorite pictures. And the truth is, I worked with Big Boss Man, and I had some really, really great times with Bubba. One of them was when like a bag of weed fell out of his boot in the middle of a match, and me and Mike Chioda and Big Bubba almost triple knocked out trying to get the bag of weed back in his boot. But look, that was the good old days, people. A lot of great times with Bubba. So that match specifically means a lot to me personally.
So, Bubba Ray Traylor, I assume based on your stories there, not difficult to work with. You and him got along great.
We got along great. We're two Georgia boys, and he had come up with my brothers, and so and it was almost like I was grandfathered in his mind, and I'm thankful for it, man, because we were two peas in a pod, and we had a really good time together, and it wasn't all about partying and having fun, but we did a lot of that too. You know what I mean? So it was. I love me some Bubba Ray.
Man, seeing
Traylor,
Big Ray Traylor,
not Bubba Ray Dudley.
Right.
We talked about him.
Make that clear. Do you? By the way, fortunate enough to see him in person in real life.
Yeah.
A huge man.
Huge man.
Just a large human.
Hey, and imagine him being able to move like he could move. That's what made him an entity in this industry for so long. I just spit all over the place, and I'm sorry. But he was doing stuff that was, man, I remember him working an angle when he first started with Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, and man, they went all the way to a cage match, and he would punch Bubba, and Bubba would catch him off the ropes and hit him. Man, it was just so cool and so I don't know, real. It felt to me like Hands of Stone was chopping the tree down with those stone-like hands.
Man, I just remember every time I think of him, and I just picture him in the ring, just from a kid's point of view,
Yeah.
I just remember I loved the way he ran the ropes and had those deep. I mean, he fell from center of the ring. It looked like.
And see, that's what him. I like to fancy myself the same, like hitting the ropes. I like to run them fast and dusting roads. All remind me. And it's just long, lanky, and lay into them, man, because they're there, and so you can go. And so he was just a great athlete at his size. Incredible. Love me some Ray Traylor.
Hey guys, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Need to call a timeout real quick here. I wanted to tell your listeners what I've been telling my world listeners for a while now. It's about all the incredible things happening over on adfreeshows.com.
On a bonus episode of ARN, the Enforcer watches back Beach Blast 92 with the Ultimate Heel and Babyface in Rick Rude and Ricky Steamboat.
Draw me a babyface, something that everybody could get behind, kids, women, old folks, young folks, men, all guys wanted to be him. Women, I'm sure, wanted to be with him. He was the all-around package.
On volume 55 of the Ask Conrad series, Conrad talks about some of his dream podcast partners, including a couple of degenerates.
From inside the business and taking over and NXT and all that, I don't think you could get a better podcast partner than Triple H there, just because he's done so much. However, if you're talking about wanting to learn more about the psychology of wrestling and what makes a match and how to develop talent and all that, could you beat Shawn Michaels?
Hey, that's just a small taste of what Ad Free Shows has waiting for you, including a brand new perk, getting to join in on the live recordings of the shows with 4 levels to choose from. See for yourself why Ad Free Shows is the best value in wrestling today. Sign up now at adfreeshows.com. That's right. Sign up today at adfreeshows.com.
The next week, you would defend the title in one night in Albany, New York. Cool. Commissioner Michaels is there and announces you'll be defending the title against Val Venis.
Hello, ladies.
Before we get into that and go forward, what do you think of seeing Shawn back in the commissioner role?
I love that because me and Shawn have been friends, and we've gone through a lot of things in our friendship that's only made it stronger. So at this time, we were definitely friends and cohorts, but it was good to have him back just as a personality on TV because he's that charismatic and what a superstar. So anytime you can bring back somebody like that, look, he couldn't wrestle anymore at this time. How can we get him on our TV show? And really, it's like, look, I don't care how you do it, get him back on TV. People love him and he's good at it.
Besides the physical limitations, was he different at the end of '98 compared to when he left with his back injury in March?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
not to me anyway.
Sure.
And look, I wasn't in the clique, but I was clique-like, and so I was I was definitely on the outskirts of that. A lot of the clique were my really good friends individually. I just wasn't their friends conglomerately. I don't know if I just made up a word there, but
Factionally.
Yeah, either one works. I go both ways. We all know that. Anyway, I'm spending that pizza roll money now. Let's get into the hardcore. I beat Val Venis, or did
Yeah, let's get into the match. From the Torch, Road Dogg fought Val Venis to a no contest in 2 minutes and 2 seconds when Test interfered.
Okay.
Road Dogg, here's my favorite line. Road Dogg did some pre-match spiel similar to the tag title announcement, but spoke Badass's role himself since Badass wasn't with him. Val announced to the ladies that his left leg is known as Christmas and his right leg is known as New Year's, quote, so ladies, why don't you come visit the big Valboski between the holidays? Very good line.
Good. Hey, he had good stuff.
At 120, Test,
brought the goods.
Ken Shamrock, Bossman, and Kane came to ringside as Val gyrated over Road Dogg. Test gave him a bulldog from behind. Team Corporate attacked Val, so X-Pac, Badass, and Hunter ran to the ring for the save. Vince McMahon came out and told Road Dogg he'll be defending the hardcore title again later on Raw against Mankind. Vince told X-Pac for Bronco busting his son last week, he'll get payback. Nobody ridicules the McMahon family. Nobody laughs at my son, Shane. Nobody.
Oh,
all right.
That's a good promo.
Did you
This all sounds exciting, too.
Yeah, it was.
I wish I remembered it.
Did you think about trying to mix up the entrance and intro lines without having Billy? What did you think about that?
Yeah, of course. Look, I was going to have to do something. You know what I mean? That's it's one of the things that brought me to the dance. And so could I utilize that, but let's customize it. Let's make it bespoke. Remember we bespoke about that. But how can I customize it and evolve it to meet this new guy? And so this was like 2 nights later or a week later or whatever. I was just trying some stuff out. I'm sure it got 1 1/4 star.
This is the beginning of the association with Mankind and DX. At the time, what did you think of Mick?
Oh, I love Mick. And Mick was a star. Like it was, to me, that was a cool relationship. Like, yeah, DX's babyfaces would dig Mick Foley. I dig Mick Foley as a human being. But yeah, I always loved Mick. Any elbow rubbing we got to do with Mankind, Mick Foley, or Dude Love, I was always in favor of.
Speaking of factions, we mentioned the Corporation and DX. Did you guys think you guys would be feuding for a long time? Seems like that could have been there.
It does. It does seem that way. And to be quite honest, I don't remember much of it, and that might have some reason why it didn't continue. But I don't know that. To be quite honest with you, I don't know anything that went down around this time. I was rolling. They see me rolling. Hating.
Patrolling, they're trying to catch me riding dirty. From the Torch, Rock came to the ringside to join Cole and Lawler. Cole was crying about being shot in the face with a water gun on commentary. I added that. For the TV main event, Road Dogg versus Mankind. He mocked Road Dogg for, quote, saying the same thing every night. Rock said he would pay That's awesome.
Wait, who said that?
Rock.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, Rock. The guy who says the same thing
every night.
Yeah. Rock said he made a special reservation for Mankind at the SmackDown Hotel right on the corner of Know Your Role Boulevard and Jabroni Drive. They showed Michaels arriving backstage, then cut to a commercial. Road Dogg pinned Mankind in 9 minutes and 8 seconds to retain the Hardcore Championship. The match was joined in progress after the commercial break. That's very interesting.
That is interesting.
We
must have gone long. The promo segment must have gone long. Or something.
We're going to talk about this. During the Wild Hardcore match, which included brawling up the rampway, table shots, chair shots, at 7 minutes, they brawled into the crowd. Mankind dove off the stands with an elbow onto Road Dogg, driving him through a table.
There. What? Yeah. Hurt so bad.
The elbow.
He was a large man at the time.
Very large.
Large. And the only way for him and I both to be safe is for him to land on me and we both eat the table. Like that's the only, you don't have another option. Like, just you land over there and drop the elbow on me. You know, you're gonna eat me up. And boy, did he eat me up. So I'm sorry I cut you off. It hurt really bad. I will continue. I'm taking a walk down memory lane.
As you ate the table, very hardcore like. Rock then gave Mankind a rock bottom on the floor, leading to the pin. Road Dogg saw a replay on the Titantron and yelled, "I don't want to win like that."
No, I
how about that?
I'm not a heel. I'm a baby face.
All right, so let's
and Mick was my friend.
Right.
If I'm going to beat him in hand-to-hand combat or the Queen's fisticuffs, then I want to do it fair and square. And if I hadn't have seen it, dang, I wouldn't have said anything. I'd have just skated.
You saw the replay and were like, "Well, I don't want that."
Now I'm in public and I saw it. Like I got to stand up for it.
Let's break down a couple things like that. One, we mentioned it.
Break it down.
Why did you, if you had to theorize and you hit on it a little bit, why are we joining a match in progress?
I have no idea. That's very interesting.
That seems like something Vince would
honestly,
hate.
something went long and they had, I don't know. I can't even, I don't remember. Only thing really that I remember about any of that was that table spot.
Hey everybody, this is Ian Riccaboni, the voice of Ring of Honor Wrestling. Say with Conrad, they were very appreciative of my time and they really worked with my schedule. The Conrad's team met me at the hours that I needed to meet them to walk through the specifics. The paperwork was clear, the communication was clear to make the decision super easy to work with. So we actually went from a 30-year mortgage, we refinanced down to a 15-year mortgage, and now our house is going to be paid by the time the kids go to college. If you want to save like I did and like Nick Aldis did and so many others in the professional wrestling world, please go to savewithconrad.com.
NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Woo!
It's savewithconrad.com.
You've talked about how great of a guy he is, how great he is to work with, talking about Mick Foley. You are now, I mean, just think of this sentence. You're working with Mick Foley in the main event of a Raw. This is a huge deal for anybody.
For the hardcore title.
Incredible.
And look how, man, damn you drugs. It's just, no, damn you, Brian. You know what I mean? It's a shame because in just a short amount of time, the proof was in the pudding that, okay, I could do this, but because of my personal problems, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it personally. And that hurts my heart. You know what I mean? I don't, and I won't let that statement live. Like I'm ashamed, I regret, because I had to go through that to get to here. And I'm thankful for all of the things I have and all the things I don't have. If I could have, I could do it professionally. That's what I was trying to get at. It dawns on me that, okay, professionally you could have been a player, individually, but personally I couldn't do it. And that, I think about that and go, but I don't beat myself up. I use that as tackling fuel. Bobby Boucher talks about tackling fuel, and that's my tackling fuel, man, as I think about that. Could there, and it was actually a question earlier that somebody asked, man, could there have been, a longer road, for the Road Dogg? And we'll never know because Brian is a dumbass.
Let's start that chant the next Raw. Putting together a match like this with Mick, do you both call the match? Does he call a lot of it? What's going on?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely we both talk. It's a conglomerate effort. You know what I mean? And so the table spot, I don't know. He wanted to climb up there, and I said, yeah, that'll be awesome. It'll look awesome. It'll be awesome. It just really hurt really bad. It did all those things. It looked awesome on TV. You're right though. I wish I would have been sober, and I wish I would have had a grasp of the gravity of what you just said, like the main event, Monday Night Raw, during the Attitude Era, singles match for a new title. You know what I mean? Like they put a lot of trust in me, and I failed them. I failed them from a personal level. You know what I mean? And I ain't beating myself up, but I got to keep that fact handy, or else I forget my past and I don't learn lessons from it.
Well, you've beat Mick now. You didn't want to win like that, but you did retain. And the next night, something epic happens.
Oh, my.
But first, Heat was taped.
Is that how it reads? Is that how it reads from the Observer?
No, that's how it reads from us. Here.
Oh, you're the best.
The Torch says the New Age Outlaws made their way to the ring. Road Dogg did his usual intro, but badass Billy Gunn ripped on Ken Shamrock before doing his second line. Road Dogg took the mic back and challenged The Rock to a hardcore title match by saying, I don't want a soft porn match. I want a hardcore match. Team Corporate came out onto the ramp. Shamrock said he wouldn't give Gunn a match. Rock took the mic and said, obviously, Jesse James, you want me to make you famous. He said Road Dogg wasn't ready to wrestle the Great One and said he'd have to get through tests to get to him.
But I did want to wrestle him. Like he says I was. I actually said, can we wrestle? Like, get out here, hardcore, not soft porn. Let's fight. And and he said, "You're not ready." And I was like, "No, I'm ready." I literally just said,
Ready's wherever going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I'll beat the other guy first.
Mankind came out to sit in on commentary, which scared Shane away, and Road Dogg beat Test in a DQ at 2 minutes and 50 seconds in a non-title match.
Oh.
Why would they not put the title on the line?
Because, man, he doesn't deserve it.
Okay. By the way, makes sense. Mankind chanted along with Road Dogg during his entrance. Road Dogg caught him into the ring and had Mankind play the part of badass. Mankind took the mic and said, "If you're not down with that, I got one word for you. Socko." Apparently he's Terry Funk.
Hey, is that what Terry said?
That's what Mankind said.
That's actually really good.
The match was okay, but Mankind's commentary stole the spotlight. He said he hates Test and said he wanted to make a bet because, quote, anybody can look good coming in and all, pumped up, looking neat and pretty with a hairstyle like that. I give this kid 3 months and he won't be able to live up to, he's doing good now. But he won't. The rigors of the road. This is a man's job. He also said, this guy looks like a glorified hairdresser out there. And to Road Dogg, he said, lay those boots in like you did to me. Throw him off the stage in a dumpster. So
I did do that to him, and I think I did it to Test too.
Then The Rock ran in out of nowhere for the DQ, which brought Mankind into the ring to help Road Dogg. Dog, when you're looking back on it now, we're joking with Test, but how did Test not become a gigantic star for the WWF?
Look,
he
and
fits everything. Great hair.
I don't know
tall.
this for sure, but you're asking me, and so I'm telling you what I think. I think drugs were the downfall of Test as well, and I say that because they were the downfall of the Road Dogg also. And so he fit every. He was a good kid. He was a good talent. He was long. He was quick across the ring. There were a lot of things, a lot of positives. And again, I don't know. I got screwed up and fired, so I wasn't there when he got screwed up and fired. You know what I mean? But honestly, I think, thank God in heaven above, I came out the other side of it. A lot of my friends haven't. And that's, if you don't do drugs, don't start. And if you started, stop. I can't hear you.
Oh. Well, that'll help if I turn my mic back on.
You don't have to, though.
I had to cough.
It was nice just being quiet for a second.
Yeah, I know.
We should have the quiet moment on our show.
From the wrestler, from the observer.
But freeze me like this.
Yeah. Oh. Well, somebody just did. They screenshotted it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody will throw that up on Twitter. Also, while we're here, we're talking about him. How good was The Rock at this point? I mean, this is we're jamming.
Yeah, very good, and really coming into his own, and I think realizing, because he wasn't a drug addict, and he looked so good. I was so angry with him personally. I was just so jealous of him, and I really was too. And I picked on him, and I that's just the truth. Anybody that was around back then, around me anyway, will tell you, like, you were a real jackass to him. And it was because he scared me. He scared me to death, man. He was the total package. You know what I mean? And that's but he was really good. I always get into my personal baggage because I want to be transparent and I want to talk about what I was going through then and how he was one of the guys I went to first to make amends in my recovery. He was one of the guys I went to, and he probably thought, F you, punk, look at you now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he thought. It's none of my business what he thought. I was doing this so I could clean up my side of the street and then lay my head down at night. Excuse me. He was gracious as gracious could be, and was respectful and looked me in the eye and thanked me for saying that. And man, it made a difference to me. And I've talked on here before about different people I've made amends to that tried to help me, and I metaphorically spit in their face because you don't know me, you don't know what I'm going through, you don't know, you know what I mean? And it's basically just Cartman. Damn right I want cheesy poop.
Screw you guys.
Yeah.
So no heat with The Rock now.
No. Well, not that I know of. None remains for me. I actually respect him a lot more because I recognized what my problem with him was. You know what I mean? And I kind of went like, oh, you're just a egomaniac that was terrified of him, so you treated him. I talked horrible to him, and I goaded him, and you know what I mean. I don't know. I was probably a bully to him because I wanted to get more attention than he was getting. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know all the motives. I just know it was wrong, and I know it felt good when I made that right for me. Like I said, I don't know if he truly accepted that and said like, "Oh, cool, man. I'm glad he came around," or if he said, "Yeah, suck it, punk." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he said. But again, I didn't do it to clear his mind. I did it to clear mine. And it helps, man. It takes a weight off your shoulders.
From the Torch, as we go later that night in Worcester, you would have another match. Road Dogg beat Al Snow with Head.
How am I working like every night?
Killing it. Making that pizza roll money, dog.
I was pizza
Super soaker
rolling.
From the Torch, Road Dogg beat Al Snow with Head to retain the WWF Hardcore title at 8 minutes and 38 seconds. Snow came to the ring wearing his blood-soaked shirt. He placed Head on the ramp and hid as Road Dogg made his entrance. Road Dogg spotted Head. Oh, no, you got sucked in,
I got sucked in.
You went over to it, and Snow jumped out from behind a curtain and attacked Road Dogg. They battled all over the backstage
the thing about that is, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Is we went over that earlier, and I still fell for it.
Oh, dog.
Like, hey, shame on me. You know what I mean?
This is like when you went out with your glasses on your head, dog.
Yes.
We went over this.
We've gone, but look, I do me.
They
and I charge extra on OnlyFans for that.
What a trick. That's a top tier subscriber platform. You ain't getting that for the free preview. Road Dogg spotted Head. That's also a tier on your OnlyFans. Road Dogg spotted Head, went over to it. Snow jumped out from behind the curtain and attacked him. They battled all over the backstage area, finally outside the arena where it was snowing. Road Dogg hit a pile driver on a crate and scored the pin outside. He ran back into the arena to the ring to celebrate with the crowd. Dog, when you're working, you touched on it before, when you're working a match like this with many different locations, do you walk through it beforehand and know where you're going? Is it feel? How much is the balance there?
Yeah. Look, you got to walk through where you're going because cameras got to follow you. So you have to have a route, and it has to be feasible for everybody to navigate. And so then if there's, this is a cool thing here. For instance, in this match here, there was a rack of, and I've shared this many times and will many times more. There was a rack, like a cart full of poinsettias because it was getting to be holiday time and snowing outside. And Al Snow picked up a poinsettia and threw it at me as like he was coming in from center field and hit me right in the face with a potted poinsettia, a plastic potted poinsettia that you would buy at any $5 store. And so it hurt really bad, but not nearly as bad as him soaking me with a water hose before we went outside into the snow to fight some more. And it was, look, that's one of my favorite matches also. Same reasons. I love Al Snow, and we went hardcore. And
how much is that called out? Is he saying I'm going to hit you with the hose first?
No. No. A lot of this stuff is
just cliff notes, kind of. We're going here and see what happens.
We're doing and look there. See all those garbage cans? I'll throw you into those. Okay, cool. And if something's not over here, hey, can we put some broomsticks over here? Whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and we'll fight and then honestly, you fight your way through it. You know what I mean? And then that's in a sadomasochistic way, and this is all about that, by the way. It's so invigorating to not know what you're doing, to not expect him while I'm looking for something to pick up a poinsettia and hit you in the face with it, and also to not fight him after that. You know what I mean? to not literally try to pull his eyeball out because he just threw a poinsettia at my face. So it's really, it's exhilarating. It's like a fight, and that's why I liked it. It's also why I hated it. Like, it hurt and it got, you know what I mean? And we were throwing in there. And so far, all I've worked with is people that didn't mind doing it like that. And we talked about Al Snow, Mick Foley, Test, and Val Venis got a taste. But look, I think I had one with Gangrel where I tapped out to a table. But to me, like, I don't know how long this little run was. I'm loving just talking about it, and I know how much I like doing it. I was on some different drugs at this time, but it was not good. It was there were no good, nothing good came out of it.
We're going to put the poinsettia back on the shelf because let me tell you. It's coming back in the fan questions, my friend. A lot of poinsettia talk.
Okay.
And we love it. So we're going to get to the details of more of that. But later that night, Foley would defeat Rock to win the WWF title with DX and the Corporation at
we held him on our shoulders.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Austin comes out to probably one of the biggest pops ever. Hits Rock with a chair. Mankind goes on top, and he's the new WWF champion. And parades around with DX afterwards. So much to discuss, Dogg. If you do remember, and I know you don't remember much, do you remember the pop? Because everyone still talks about it.
I remember the pop, and you can't forget it. But I also want people to understand we were hearing that every night. We were hearing that every night, and not necessarily for us, but 9 times out of 10 we were in the ring when it happened. You know what I mean? And sometimes it would be for The Rock, sometimes it would be for Austin, sometimes it would be for Taker. Sometimes we were in the ring for a lot of those pops on a lot of these nights, and so like the fans remember, and I've seen footage of loudest New Age Outlaw chant ever. And I was like, holy crap, that was an awesome one. Like, when I hear it back, but I don't remember that one being like that unless it was the one. No, that was a live event. That was a live event. But so we were hearing that pops a lot. Those pops a lot. We were accustomed to them. So it wasn't like, oh, that was the loudest one I've ever heard, because I've heard some really friggin' loud ones before too.
I can't wait for everybody to ask you that. That's the next question they're going to ask. The biggest pop you've ever heard.
Oh, for me.
For anybody.
Man,
it's tough.
It's tough because I've sat in there. I'll tell you what the best one I've sat in there for is Taker's entrance. Is you're in the ring and it's like me and Billy and Hunter in the ring, and it's the Acolytes and Taker coming out in Madison Square Garden in the main event, and that's pretty friggin' cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just did your whole deal with Billy, and Hunter took us home. So, are you ready? So it was just really a magical moment where when those lights out and that gong hits, there's something supernatural about that. But look, there's something very visceral about a late rock pop and an Austin pop. Like it was tit for tat with those guys coming out when their music hit. That because it was like an explosion of pop. You know what I mean? It was a different like gut feeling pop. It was weird, but man, electric. Boogie woogie woogie.
You also that night seemed genuinely happy in the ring with Mick. I know it had to be legit happiness for you, but talk about what you saw from the locker room. Mick seems at this point, he doesn't have much heat with anybody. It seems like everyone was genuinely happy for him.
100%. And so I think that was across the board. You know what I mean? I think even WCW was so happy about it, they told him early that he was going to win the title.
We're going to get to that. Yeah.
And then like 500,000 people switched channels. Muchas gracias, senor. But we'll get to that here in a second.
The same night, like we mentioned, Tony Schiavone is instructed by Eric Bischoff to talk about how Mick is winning the title and how, quote, the infamous line, that'll put some butts in the seats. Do you remember hearing about this?
No.
Okay.
And I because I probably did, but it was probably the next day. You know what I mean? Or even the next week. Because sometimes if we went home from TV, I would talk to anybody, or I would definitely huddle up in my room and hide.
Well, it's a taped Raw, so you're all at home watching this, or Nitro with the finger poke of doom, or knowing you were out partying, as you just mentioned.
I was not watching wrestling. That's for sure.
You've seen and heard about it now.
Yeah.
What was your immediate, if you can remember back then, what do you think of Nash losing to Hogan with the finger poke of doom?
Well, look, I love that. I think it's funny. I think me and Billy did that one time for a title match where he pinned me or something, and they had to make it out the outlaw rule that I've heard tell of. And then I think Kofi and Xavier Woods did it on TV, but the people were smart to it, so they tried to pin each other, and everybody made the save real quick. But me and Billy got away with it. I totally was putting myself over and forgot what we were talking about.
The finger poke of doom.
Oh yeah, I liked it. Look, it's because he joined. It was the fix was in. You know what I mean? I think it's good. I think it's people go, oh God, it killed the business. Whatever. Everybody's got an opinion. They all stink.
You hinted at it. Thank you, muchas gracias, sir. What was the feeling knowing that WCW tried to ruin the moment for Mick and it backfired?
Well, look, I'm sure. And I know this to be true, that means a lot to Mick Foley, and rightfully so. Like, that would mean a lot. Mick and I feel like we're for different characters, but we're cut of the same
sweatpants
cloth. We're cut of the same flannel sweatpants.
Yes, there we go.
Burlap sack. But so. Like, I know it meant a lot to him. You know what I mean? Because that's proof in the pudding, Jack. You tried to do something nefarious, and people watched, and they loved what they watched, and they started not coming back to you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It had to feel good to him personally. Professionally, like you said earlier, everybody loved Mick, man. So like, everybody was happy. Fans, boys, women, like, everybody was like, yes, I love this guy. He's my champion.
Let's talk about some of our friends, Dogg, and that is Athletic Greens. A lot of champions using Athletic Greens, baby. Yep. Look at you. The kids on the street call it AG1. You knew that.
I knew that because I'm a kid and I'm on the street, dog. Sorry.
Look, here's the deal. You can use this every single day. It changes your routine for the better because you're not keeping up with all of these different pills, trying to figure out, hey, I need to take this, and then if you're going to take this, if you add this, it boosts it, and then I need that, though, because I need this. Everything is in AG1.
Yeah.
One
scoop,
and you get 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. And this special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus.
So that first one.
Well, you need to focus on aging, but if you want to focus on gut health, AG1 handles both of those.
But did you say AG, like AG?
No,
or aging.
Aging.
Oh, yeah. I should focus on that, but it's
gut health.
The gut health is where it's all at, man.
Yeah,
one scoop, high quality poop, once a day. You heard what I say. Every day, AG1.
That's those probiotics that gets that gut back in order.
That'll get your gut health going.
Ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. It's the convenience is the word, #convenience, because it's all there in one pourable pouch, and I put a little orange juice in mine. Bing, bang, boom. Bob's your uncle. I've done my morning constitution, and part of that is racking up all these vitamins and you know what I mean? Like, this is one scoop a day, once a day, every day. And if you ain't down with that, I got 3 AG1, whatever.
AG1. Here's the deal.
I'm going to work on that. On that.
It's got this exotic taste, is how I would do it. Pineapple-y.
Yeah.
Fruity, tropical.
Tropical. Go with tropical.
Tropical is maybe the words I'm looking for. And I will be honest, when I started AG1, I did not get to finish it because my wife took it over.
Yep.
She saw how easy it is. She is super in shape. She's a CrossFit coach, this whole deal.
Yep.
And she went, wait. You're getting all that in one scoop? I don't have this pill thing out like I'm 80 years old, taking, morning, noon, night. Boom! A scoop and was done. Plus, they've got the travel, that travel glass container.
Yep.
I'm missing the word for it, but the little shaker.
It's a shaker.
You got that, and you are ready to go.
Yeah.
And Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues himself. He ended up on a complicated supplement routine to recover. They cost him $100 a day.
Yeah. Well,
Whoa.
I can tell you this much: AG1s don't cost you that.
No, it does not. So he created Athletic Greens after experiencing how difficult it was to create an optimal nutrition routine on his own. It costs less than $3 a day. Woo! That's a big old price difference right there.
$97 difference.
And
I'm also a mathematician.
Look at that. I did not know I was dealing with the brainiac over
Look,
here.
my finger's gone. It's not. Oh, wait, I said mathematician. My bad.
You're
AG1.
investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your coffee habit. We can promise you that. Cheaper than getting all the different supplements yourself, and you're investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy, we love easy right here.
Amen.
And if there's one thing they say about me and Dogg, we're easy, okay?
Wait a minute. That came out wrong.
Sunday
Or did it?
morning. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Dogg, you saw that when we got it.
Yeah.
You travel all the time, going back and forth to these live events.
Yeah.
Traveling packs by AG1 made it so easy for you.
Yeah.
Man.
So look, I said it before. I'll say it again. Convenience. It's like the deal in real estate is location. This is all about one scoop once a day, and you've got everything you've needed, or everything you need, and that's that. Like it don't get no easier than that.
All you got to do is visit athleticgreens.com/DOGG. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/dog to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. And we thank Athletic Greens for supporting us at Yo You Didn't Know. So we ask that you support them. One scoop, once a day, every day. AG1. Baby.
AG1. You can probably help my son. He don't have high quality poop. Doopy doop, scoopy doop, baby. Okay, cool. What's next?
Let me get through laughing at your son pooping.
Okay.
Dogg, 2 weeks later, you would take on Gangrel in a WWF hardcore title match. Can we discuss this entrance? It's one of the best entrances of all time.
For me?
Torch, Road Dogg beat Gangrel in 5 minutes and 50 seconds to retain the WWF hardcore title. Before the match, Gangrel sprayed his blood in Road Dogg's face.
Yes.
They brawled to ringside. Back in the ring, Road Dogg set up a table. Gangrel low-blowed Road Dogg and powerbombed him through the table.
Oh, yeah.
Road Dogg came back and set up another table at ringside.
Because I'm stupid.
Placed Gangrel on top of it. Road Dogg hit an elbow off the ring apron, but the table didn't break.
Oh.
Gangrel ran back to the ring and leg dropped. Road Dogg ran back to the ring. Leg dropped Gangrel off the apron.
Still didn't break.
Still didn't break. Road Dogg hit another elbow, and finally the table broke. Road Dogg backdropped Gangrel onto the broken table, hit 2 chair shots, and got the pin at ringside.
Yeah.
You weren't doing the job to the table, were you?
I was, and I was angry about it. And so look, I'll tell you, I'll give you a little inside baseball of the finish here. And they took it out. I don't know why. I think they just thought it was a mishap or something. They didn't understand my mentality. But I remember going to Jack Lanza and going, hey, you know what we never do is beat somebody with a chair shot. I said, I want to just hit him with a chair shot and knock him out. And he's out, and I pin him. You know what I mean? And like, why can't we do that? And he goes, okay, well, maybe hit him with 2. And I was like, okay. Because look, we were doing it every week. Everybody was hitting everybody with chairs. And so it made sense that, hit him with 2. So I hit him with 2, and then I reached down to get him and grab his hair, and I went to pull him up, and he just dead weighted me. So like I pulled up a dead body, and then I let him drop back down, and then I pinned him. And for TV, they cut out the part where I pulled the dead body up.
No.
Yeah, they cut out that part, and then so I just remember like, oh man, that was the whole sell was like, he just beat him right there. You know what I mean?
Knocked him out.
Yeah, and look, I guess that's what you gathered anyway. But I felt like that one piece needed to be there to tell the story. But screw me.
When you're going through a pre-match like this, do you ever discuss what happens if the table doesn't break?
Not once. And because you just figure like
it's gonna break.
I don't know. And look, I don't know that I really committed to going through it with him like Mick did with me. I might have been trying to work a little too. I might not have been trying to kill myself or him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's shame on me. Truth be told, because now I have this horrible feeling of, I just didn't go through a table with my offensive move off of the apron. I better get back. So then I climbed to like the second rope and drop an elbow, but I still don't commit to going all just eating him up. You know what I mean? And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to jump and put my butt on him. And we're just both going through the air, through this table. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get. So that was the only thing I literally, you remember that part. Like, oh, that feels so horrible to do the job for it like twice.
Well, and because everyone in the arena goes, well, that was supposed to break.
Yeah.
So I've got to do it.
Yeah, and just so you know, there were a lot of people in the arena. And I was like, oh.
You're having some really good matches in this environment. It seems to be playing to your strengths here.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're in your comfort zone. You seem like it the way you're talking about it now, the way it looked. By the way, what was the one agent who helped you the most during this time?
Probably Pat Patterson and Jack Lanza. I mean, and really the agents back then were very, very different than they are today. The producers of yesteryear were not producers. They were literally just handlers to handle the idiots. And also none of those gentlemen had ever done hardcore stuff. You know what I mean? Like that was unheard of.
Right.
And so I don't know if any of them helped me with the constructing of the match. I think that was more of a me and whoever the talent was. And look, when you're in that scenario, you're really giving your body to another dude in some really crazy ways. And so it has to be give and take, and it has to be understood that that's how it is. And so, tough guys. I don't know. I don't consider myself tough, but I can take a beating. You know what I mean? So I had a blast with those guys. I don't even know what you were talking about.
So the agents were not as involved.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
On Raw, January 25th, 1999, from Phoenix, Torch says Road Dogg and Al Snow beat Brood, Edge, and Gangrel, and Road Dogg pinned Gangrel at 5:47 in a hardcore match, as Brood made their ring entrance by coming up through the stage floor surrounded by fire.
Oh.
Road Dogg and Snow sprayed them with fire extinguishers. They brawled into the back area where they fought among dumpsters and crates. At 5:30, Blue Dust handed head to Snow. That led to the pin. Road Dogg and Snow returned to the stage to celebrate with the fans who were stuck watching the match on the Titantron. We've got Al Snow.
Boo.
We've got Heat. We've got Blue Dust. I hate to ask you this. Was your acid the drug of choice at this time?
Not at this time.
Blue Dust and Head and Al Snow.
But I definitely can imagine riding on a rainbow on a unicorn. It was awesome, right? It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun.
They were stuck watching it on the Titantron. Let me get that in there because I'm negative Nancy.
We need a DX with fire extinguishers. I think. That's the X. What do you think of working with very young Edge here? He is early on here.
Oh yeah, very very young. Look, I loved working with those guys, but I wish I would have been sober for it, because I wasn't, and I didn't appreciate where they were coming from. And look, I've told this story before. I'm very open about it. I used to laugh at them because they would show up early and be talking about the match and stretching and you know what I mean? Like doing all these things that a professional level athlete should do. And I was under the table asleep, you know what I mean? And telling them to keep it down so I can catch some shut eye, before our match. And so it was me, looking at them and laughing and not realizing, or like I told earlier, a joke where I'm not realizing I'm the punchline. You know what I mean? Like not realizing, like, oh, my existence is the real joke here. And that's sad to say, but I told this story before too. I saw them not long ago. It was a couple years ago, I guess now, and they were both down eating, and I went over to them and said, I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I'm sorry for the way I treated y'all. If I treated y'all bad, and I know I kicked Christian so hard he lost his breath for like a month. But like I treated them, I bullied them verbally and stuff, and I was just an a-hole, or I thought I was anyway. Having this conversation. They go, no, you were always really cool, man. X-Pac was the dick. I said, like, no, that's not true. Like, I never saw him. I never saw him in that light ever in my life. And to think of that, they thought of that. I thought, like, wait, what? I imagine he's apologized to them too, probably 50 times. They're like, we get it, guys. You apologize.
Well, you're going good. You're having fun. You're working with young Edge. And then, sadly, you and Snow team up again, and this time you're going against the Acolytes.
Oh, God.
Bradshaw and Farouk.
Don't show a picture of them, whatever you do. It gets me gun shy.
The Torch says the Acolytes beat Road Dogg and Al Snow in a hardcore tag team match at 6 minutes, 32 seconds. All four men battled throughout the arena. Snow and Farouk battled out back. Snow took control, but Viscera came out and power slammed him through a table. Farouk went back to the ring and helped Bradshaw put Road Dogg through a table with a double team power bomb, which set up to pin. A shot aired in the back of Road Dogg and Snow arguing about who let whom down. Road Dogg hit Snow with a chair twice. Were you hurt on the power bomb through the table?
I'm a horrible friend. I want to say that now. I was hurt when you said I had this match a few seconds ago. Then I started writhing in pain. Don't ask me to spell that.
We've all heard horror stories, unfortunately, about working with the Acolytes. Mm-hmm. What was it like working for you?
It was a fight for my life every night, and sadly enough, I'm here for it, and I was there for it, and we would do things to them, and they would do things to us that were not nice physically, and I'm not talking about like grab ass or anything like that. It was hit you in the back as hard as I can with my forearm, you know what I mean? Kick you in the gut like really hard, and then waffle you in the back, and then, but I don't know, it was just weird time in my life. Bring on the pain. That's where I was at.
You know they're working stiff going into this.
Yeah.
What's the first moment you remember like, okay, they're correct, they do?
No. Look, I knew that way before they were the Acolytes. I worked with John Bradshaw, Bradshaw Layfield, whatever his name was. He beat the crap out of me when I was the real road Jesse James. You know what I mean? Like a real Double J, I was getting knocked out by him. And Ron was Ron Simmons, and so God bless him. I'll do whatever you want to do, Ron. I knew what was up way before this match started, and we also worked a lot with the Acolytes when we were the New Age Outlaws, like when we talked about some of those storylines where the corporation or whatever, and And we did a lot of loops where it was like Taker and the Acolytes versus me and Billy and Hunter, me and Billy and Kid, you know what I mean? So we had worked with them before, and truth be told, we all four, I think, and we said this on a Comic-Con panel, we all four really liked it. You know what I mean? Like, we really enjoyed working together. We knew you're sick, man. We knew what we were getting into, but me and Billy weren't playing no games back then either. You know what I mean? We get cast off because we weren't the top guys or whatever, but we were bringing it in there too. And because we were young and hungry and we were getting our taste of it. And so bring it on, man. We had a good time with those guys, and it is sick. It's a sickness indeed, but it was fun while it lasted. I can't imagine. I just turned to dust now on that double power bomb.
Well, unfortunately, this was not the last time you get hurt. From MSG in February, quote, Road Dogg took a nasty bump out of the ring, was taken out in an immobilizer to avoid further neck damage.
Yep.
The ring ropes may not have been tightened enough because when Road Dogg, during his tag match, was reversed into the ropes, his body slipped between the middle and top rope and was essentially slingshot hard onto his head to the floor below. He had no time to prepare for his unexpected fall. He suffered numbness immediately in one of his arms. The paramedics on standby in the arena came out, immobilized his neck, and took him out on a board and cervical brace. In the ambulance, he was able to wiggle his toes and fingers on both sides of his body. At the hospital, they determined that his rotator cuff rolled over onto a nerve in his shoulder, which caused the numbness. Although he still felt pain in his shoulder the next day, he was able to appear for an interview on Raw in Toronto. Dogg, what the hell happened to this? This seems scary.
So it's terrifying in reality. However, it was just another joke, mishap, good story later in life, in the life that was the drug-addled Road Dogg. So this was the time we literally just talked about the main event of Madison Square Garden with Taker and the Acolytes versus me and Billy and Hunter. So in the match, I get the hot tag, and I come in and I blast Bradshaw back, and I go to shoot him to the ropes, and he shoots me. He reverses it, and I run like I'm at the ropes. I don't know. I'm at the ropes before I get to turn around and I just shot right through the bottom ropes, between the top and the middle rope, I mean. And I did. I shot straight to the ground head first. And so I guess, thank God, I landed on my shoulder rather than kind of my head. But I immediately was like, holy crap, that wasn't supposed to happen at such a pivotal part of the match. And then Ron Simmons picked me up like a doll. And what I mean by that is he didn't treat me with kid gloves. He picked me up as if I were Raggedy Ann. And threw me into the ring, and I literally said, the finish of the match was tombstone on somebody. So I said, tombstone me, and Dead Man said, no, and he just laid on top of me, and they pinned 1, 2, 3, and that was that. And then I got out. I remember, and think about this, you said that sounds scary. I got carted out on a back brace with a neck brace on out of Madison Square Garden in the main event. And I literally remember looking at the center of that big, thing, the big scoreboard they have in the middle, thinking, man, if this is the way I go out, at least it was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, right. At least it was. And truth be told, I didn't know what I was half knocked out to, because so truth be told, it ended up being a funny story where Shane McMahon came to the hospital, and I ended up more hammered than I was leaving than I was getting in there. So, I
was about to ask, how did you end up getting to Toronto and all this?
I ended up getting out of there that night. Like, it was more of a scary moment where then everything was kind of fine. You know what I mean? And so it was like, holy crap, what happened? My shoulder was out of socket, so they rolled it back in, and that's what they ended up telling me was it just rolled over everything, and so it crimped it off for a second. When it went back in, it got life again. And so I don't know. Yeah, it was a scary moment, but I was so high that I didn't. And also, I'm 100% not like missing the irony of it was probably me being messed up is probably how how a lot of this happened. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if it's 100% why it happened, but it definitely played a part, and I didn't learn a lesson from it. I just kept going, you know. And,
incredible.
Cool spot, cool story. Ha ha.
It learned.
Great.
On Raw Saturday night, February 13, 1999, from Toronto's Sky Dome, taped on February 8th, the Torch says Al Snow came out and cut a promo on Road Dogg. He said he respected him, but he's the king of hardcore. He pulled out some objects and challenged Road Dogg to a match right away. No one came out. Snow then began wrestling himself, beating himself with the microphone. He jumped to ringside and threw the cookie sheet at his own head and squirted himself with a fire extinguisher, broke a broom over his head, and moonsaulted the table.
Yeah.
Bob Holly came out to calm him down, but Snow pushed him away. When Holly tried again, Snow shoved him out of the ring. Holly hit Snow with a broom handle. They brawled through the crowd and back into the ring, where they were separated by refs. This was because you couldn't work, but Al Snow beating himself up, that's some entertaining stuff right there, brother.
That's the kind of stuff Al Snow brings to the table. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of that's the wrestling I love and I know and love. But look, and then they were just like, oh, how do we get another? Bob Holly will come out there. They'll have a fight with some broom handles and stuff. Like, it was fine, and this was probably like they were probably going, which one of these guys can we put the title on when Dogg craps the bed?
Well, here's my next question. This was taped February 8th. You are scheduled to take on Snow at St. Valentine's Day Massacre. You're either hurt or you're in rehab, depending on the source on the internet. What was the real story, Dog? You remember?
What year was it?
99.
Yeah, I was in rehab. Yeah, it was I went a couple of times, and it was one of the times. And yeah, I was not injured. I was told to go to rehab and said no, or I was there. You know what I mean?
Okay. You wouldn't return to the hardcore title picture, but to the IC title picture, as we covered earlier this year. Go back in the archives. That was a great episode. Were you disappointed you didn't get to finish that run, or at that moment were you too blurry?
Yeah, I was really blurry, and I don't know what that. I mean, I won the Intercontinental title. I don't even know why. It felt wrong to me. It felt like I was. Like you said earlier, this felt like me. This little sprint, more of a run it was more of a sprint than a run, but it felt good. It felt right. It felt like it fit. But again, I question, not being behind the scenes at the time, just being a talent. What were they talking about? Like, this guy's going to implode. You know what I mean? Or what were they talking about from that standpoint? Because of my personal demons, they can't invest too much more into me. And they're still trying, you know what I mean? Like, to give them credit, they're still trying to invest in me, and I am slapping them in the face at every step. And man, I wish I had that one back.
Dogg, you returned to the hardcore title picture in the summer of '99 and was supposed to challenge for the hardcore title at SummerSlam, but instead you did roving commentary for the Big Boss Man Al Snow match. Do you remember why that was?
I do not remember why that was, but I remembered I loved it. Like, I remembered I had a really good time doing it, and I thought, man, I'd love to do this more. And I pitched doing it more, but they were like, yeah, you took away from the match, dude. You were, and so it made sense. Like, okay, sorry. I don't know. I was just having fun. You know what I mean? I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
SummerSlam '99, Minneapolis. The Torch says Road Dogg came out and said, pencils have erasers. And he had been taken out of the hardcore title match. There was a huge explosion, and Chris Jericho's music began. He walked onto the top edge of the Lion's Den and began scolding Dogg and the WWF for being boring. He called SummerSlam Summer Sham. He said the fans were conned into watching boring matches and useless performers. And Road Dogg finally said, do you remember your line?
Why don't you shut up, bitch?
The crowd on cue said, suck it. Boy, Jericho walking into the WWF in '99, he said he had tremendous heat on him. He said that himself. Why was that, you think?
So, look, I think Chris.
Did you have heat on him?
I wouldn't say heat, because I'd been in Smoky Mountain with him for a while too.
Right.
When him and Lance Storm first came into the America, and that sounded weird. Sorry, but so I'd known Chris, and I knew Chris is an acquired taste. Look like I am, like you are. You know what I mean? Like you can only take so much of me, and so I knew Chris, and I knew so I didn't have heat with him as much as he was really over at WCW. And now he got this new deal here, and we knew they were going to use him in a top spot. So I think to say he had heat, and maybe he did have some heat with some people, not me, and not Billy. I don't think. I didn't feel like he had heat with anybody I was close to. It was more about, hey, here's this big guy going to come in here and take a spot. It's a professional rivalry. You know what I mean? Like we're competing, dude, and I don't know you that well, and so I could see how he could misconceive, or people were actually hot at him and I didn't know about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I knew Chris, and I like Chris. We and Chris always got along. We've always had good matches together too.
On Raw on August 23rd, 1999, from Ames, Iowa, Al Snow fought Road Dogg in a no contest. 2 minutes when Chris Jericho interfered, so the hardcore title didn't change hands. Just as Road Dogg powerbombed Snow through a table at ringside, the Titantron showed the Y2J countdown, and Jericho came out. Dogg instantly got the best of him, and they brawled to the back. Meanwhile, at ringside, Bossman came out, hit Snow with his nightstick, then stole Snow's dog pepper. Oh, no. Bossman drove away with a dog. Snow approached people backstage in a panic, asking if they saw where Bossman took his dog. What do you think about this gimmick? Bossman and Snow, you know where Bossman cooked the dog and such, right?
Oh, yeah. He ate the Chihuahua. I mean, if you're going to eat a dog, at least get a bigger, more meaty dog. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get a lot of... That's like eating a covey of quail. You know what I mean? You're just finger picking. You're finger picking now. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But you know, I don't know. Maybe it went too far. Maybe it didn't.
WCW would eventually copy the hardcore title because, you know, why not?
Why not?
What'd you think of that?
Rightfully so. Like, hey, they're doing it and it works and people are digging it. Let's do that. Like that. There's only so many ideas on the Bugs Bunny or the Roadrunner Coyote scene. Like he's going to kill him somehow. He's going to drop something on him. It's just like wrestling. Everything's been done. It's like, oh, that's cool. Let's try that. And so kudos for them.
Speaking of trying that in February with Crash Holly as champion, the title switches to the 24/7 gimmick.
Oh.
What did you think of that switch?
Now we've gone too far. Now we went too far, and totally went too far with it, and it totally lost its luster. I think the when they went away from the violence of it is when it went away. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. And look. From a business standpoint, especially now that it's a publicly traded company, that's just crazy to have too much of that going on all the time. You know what I mean? So I totally could make the argument for do not normalize the hardcore stuff for corporate responsibility reasons, but for also, you know, people ain't gonna pay for that all the time. And I think some people will. And there'll be a spot for it, and it'll utilize it at the right times, and it'll mean something then.
In the summer of 2000, Dogg, you had your final matches challenging for the hardcore title. Started at Raw, July 24th, 2000, Austin, Texas. Steve Blackman beat Road Dogg with X-Pac at 5:27 to retain the hardcore title. X-Pac joined Ross and Lawler on commentary. Pac said he and Dogg made a friendly challenge over who was the better singles wrestler. The match included a chair, a garbage can, and some karate sticks. In the end, Blackman kicked a chair into Dogg's face and scored the pin. X-Pac said he'd challenge Blackman to a hardcore title match on SmackDown to see who the real karate master is.
Oh, karate.
Talk to us about working with Steve Blackman.
Terrifying. Terrifying. Okay. And he's the nicest guy in the world. And I mean in the world. Like, he's a genuinely good human being. But he is, look, they called him some kind of weapon or something. And that's him. Like, he's a walking weapon. And I don't know. So sometimes if you get lost in there, you don't want to be in there lost with a weapon. You know what I mean? You just want to be in there lost and with somebody that's going to try to help you to figure it out before we just punch one another or thrust kick a chair into one another's face.
Did you know? Did you know he held the Hardcore Championship 6 times and holds the record for most combined days as champion over 172 days?
No, I did not know that.
Oh,
and if I had been sober, I wonder if I would have been the longest.
Woo! Well, that would have been fun to see, my friend.
I wonder.
Next, after Steve Blackman, July 27th, San Antonio, Blackman defeated X-Pac to retain the WWF Hardcore title.
Oh.
Dogg sat in on commentary. In the end, Blackman hit X-Pac with a kendo stick and pinned him. Anything to try to get him over, right? He's now beat you and X-Pac.
X-Pac. And while the other one watched.
Yeah.
By
I
the
just
way.
had to sit there and watch.
Yeah. That feels good.
And by the way, you two both were trying to prove who's the better singles wrestler.
Yeah,
and
me
you
and
both
him.
got beat back to back.
Both got beat.
Yeah.
Did me and him fight next or something?
Well, yep. July 31st, 2000, Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Dogg and Pac beat Steve Blackman and Al Snow in a hardcore rules match at 6 minutes and 13 seconds. For the match, highlights aired of Blackman telling Snow he didn't want to team with him. Snow responded by singing "Reunited." Late in the match, Snow accidentally hit Blackman with a trash can cover.
Yeah.
Pac followed up with the X Factor for the pin.
That's good.
This
old
is a
wrestling
gigantic
right
Raw Dog.
Yeah.
Raw Dog.
Raw Dog.
Over 25,000 fans in the Georgia Dome that night, and you got the win with Pac, my friend. This is big.
It's big stuff, but I feel like, are we still in the hardcore title run? Like, I guess we're still around that title.
Hardcore rules.
Yeah, okay.
And then that was it. That's your last match involving the hardcore title, is losing to Steve Blackman after Austin stunned you on SmackDown in Pittsburgh.
Now wait a minute. We didn't say that.
But if you're going to go out,
you can hit me with a weapon, but you can't have Steve Austin hit me with a stunner to beat me.
Karate sticks is fair.
Surely you don't want to win like that.
But if you're going to go out, a stunner from Austin is a way to go out, right?
Stun. I take a sweet one too. Look, we've talked about that T-shirt that sold.
Which one?
Me, I just spit actually all over my computer. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes I lose control.
Is that the shirt that we're trying to sell? I just spit all over it.
My bad. I just spit. Look, when I was 4, I was thinking of. Anyway, so what were we talking about? What were we talking about?
Highlight or low light of this run, getting a Stone Cold Steve stunnered.
No, I didn't even remember that.
Okay.
Highlight were those matches you covered. Honestly, highlight was with Mick Foley, with Boss Man, with Al Snow, with Gangrel, the quick one with Test. It was a quick little sprint of a fun run that I thought fit me really well. And as I sit here today, I wonder, and I don't care so much I'm going to ask anybody, but I wonder. And I have to, sitting on this side of the fence now, I have to suggest, like, surely your drug problem had a lot to do with them kind of pushing you this way. And it makes sense, man. They didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve, it's unbecoming. It's actions unbecoming a superstar. And that's unacceptable, man. And I put them in a bad situation. They had no choice but to fire me. Thank God for second choices, and I'm back now, Jack.
By the way, do you have a copy of the hardcore title?
I do not. Do they make those?
We got to change that, man.
Yeah, we got to get one of those.
Got to get you a hardcore replica.
Yeah, that's true. I have an Intercontinental replica, and I actually should probably put it somewhere. But I'm more happy. I would be more happy with a hardcore.
Oh, we'll figure that out.
I remember cutting myself, and my children got cut, or one of my children, my son, got cut on the title because he was trying to put it on and like cut his finger, because it was like really a title that they broke, and it was like jagged, and every time you reach in your bag, not thinking about it, you come back with a fistful of flesh.
Yesterday, I cut myself some cake, and it was delicious.
Hopefully it wasn't orange whip.
Creamsicle.
Yeah. Good.
Dog, before we
I saw a
get
ghost, by the way.
before we get to our fan questions, we want to tell you about our friends over at Fite TV. They are the ultimate digital platform for live sports and entertainment, and they're offering a free 7-day trial at tryfite.com. Fight Plus is packed with a premium live event schedule, over 1,000 hours of live action every year, and a library of over 4,000 hours on demand, plus exclusive content. Fight is a great partners of ours here at Ad Free Shows and Oh You Didn't Know, and they support us, so let's support them. All we're asking you to do is get a free 7-day trial.
And guess how much it cost?
$0.
FOC, dog, free of charge.
We do say this: if you do try the trial, you'll probably be like most of us. You'll be a member for life.
You'll stick,
because it's an incredible deal. Tryfite.com. That's TRYFITE.com. We thank Fight Plus for sponsoring us here on Oh You Didn't Know.
Thank you, Fight Plus. 7-day free trial.
Dog, let's get some fan questions, and we will knock those out before we wrap up here. Michael Berry Sr. wants to know, how physical were these matches? Obviously, there were a lot of hard bumps taken, but did it always feel like you were protected in these matches, or is there more physicality to present a more realistic match to the fans? Hashtag OUDK, hashtag DoggLB. I don't know what that is.
Dog pound.
Oh, pound. Also, he said, you were the greatest IC champion. How about that?
Holy mackerel, the greatest IC champion?
Yeah, he says it. So
He's got a low bar. That kid sets a low bar. Yeah, they were definitely, and I think I touched on it throughout. It was a violent time, and I felt like I had to be violent. You know what I mean? To get it, I have to be really hitting people with these things, and I have to be really getting hit with these things, and I felt like that was, look, when they took that away, the thing dwindled and died on the vine. You know what I mean? Like, it's when they took the violence away from it, it changed the dynamic and it failed. So yeah, they were more demanding physically, but like I said earlier, nobody got hit with anything they weren't willing to swing back at you. You know what I mean? It was a two-way street, and everybody understood that. And we're going to play rough, boys. So let's roll. So yeah, lot more aggressive during this short period of time.
Tracy Root hit us up.
Oh, you know who that is?
This is Meanie, baby.
Meanie, yeah.
At Treyfabe on Twitter says, my favorite match ever was in Hartford. Watching as a kid in Connecticut, I snapped my blinds in half, checking to see if it was snowing outside. Hashtag whoopsie doodle. My question is, why did real Al Snow hit you so hard? Hashtag dude got beamed with some dried up old poinsettias.
Yeah, that's a good hashtag too. And I did. Like, if you're within the sound of my voice, it's worth a Google. You know what I mean? Like, just find that one throw, and man, it hurt, but it looked awesome. So yeah, it was snowing wwhere we were, but it was taped or something. There was some timing, continuity issues. But yeah.
I would love, see, as a kid, I don't think about that, but she's in the city you're supposedly in and goes, wait, is it snowing? It's probably like 70 and balmy. You're just like, what in the world?
Oh my
It's
Lord.
snowing over at the arena, guys. I don't know what's happening.
The big prank about that was I was soaking wet. I went out in the snow and fought him, pile driver through the crates, hear my music playing, and I'm outside in the snow, soaking wet, and I run as fast as I can to the ring because I want to be in there for the pop. You know what I mean? Like he talked about earlier, and half right was about they were stuck watching the match on the Tron. It's cool to get back in there, and I wanted to get back in there to get my pop with the people. I felt it. They felt it. I ran back in there. I was freezing to death, but I ran back in there just like I did with the Boss Man thing. I want to be in the ring on the second rope holding that title up when that reaction is there. You know what I mean? I don't know. Call me crazy.
Incredible.
Or selfish.
Sean Berkey says, what was the most painful weapon used in one of your hardcore matches? If it was not the poinsettia.
Yeah, it you know,
a karate stick?
A lot of things hurt differently. No, kendo sticks are good to go. The chair shots hurt, man, especially
Trash can lids.
Lids, if they haven't, we used to have the guy take the handle off of them and kind of bend down, so at least we wouldn't tear each other's heads up. But they were hard. Look, I love the cookie sheet. The cookie sheet used to be good. They were thicker than you thought, and they would wrap around the head nicely. I think a couple of those Al Snow matches, I would wrap it around his head and then pull it back straight, bend it back straight with my knee, and hit him again with it. You know what I mean? And so it was, I don't know, man, it was fun. It was violent. It was chaos. It was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and beat the crap out of each other.
WWE Master 2018 hitting us up from Spain. Remember, he said this up before.
Hola.
He said any location you wanted to go to fight for the hardcore title, like maybe a church or maybe a veterinarian office, because you're a dog. That would have been great to have a match.
That would have been great. But like a cemetery sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'd feel weird in the church. Kind of like when I go to recovery meetings in a church. It just feels weird. So maybe a cemetery. That would have been cool.
At Not Today Jackass, hit us up on Twitter at You Didn't Know Pod, at Brian R.D. James, at the Casio Kid. He says, I think the cookie sheets are the worst to get hit by by experience, but what is the worst thing? How was a cookie sheet to you?
Yeah, I loved them. We just talked about that a little bit. I loved them, and they didn't have the same sting that a chair does to your noodle. This is crazy talk, by the way, people. If anybody listening to me, I'm crazy and I am insane and I am paying for it every day. Like
most people, if they get hit by one cookie sheet, that's it for life, and we're done with it. You're like, which time was the cookie sheet? No,
there were several cookie sheets, several chair shots. You know, weird stuff happens that hurts worse than everything else that looks like it hurts. You know what I mean? Like
what's something random that sticks in your mind?
You get hit in the back with a chair, and your elbow is a little higher than your back is when the chair comes. And just the tip of that elbow getting a chair, like, oh, God. It looked like he killed your back. But, man, it hurts your elbow.
Your face is punched.
Yeah, stuff like
You're
that.
Like, hey, that hit my elbow, guys.
Hey, and I don't know, when I see people taking shots to the back now and I see them like reaching to try to, I was like, no, put your elbows down, son, because it hurts a lot less spread out on the back than it does right on the tip of your stinking elbow bone. Oh, Lord.
Monica M. Jumper 85, this is kind of like picking your favorite kid, but wants to know, who was your favorite hardcore opponent?
Look, it is either Mick or Al. I love the match with Boss Man, and it's really memorable to me. But Mick or Al, and it's because we could play, and we did a lot of live event stuff too. The three of us, where there's bowling balls under the ring, and there's you get crazy, and next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire, and you're sleeping with a painted anyway. So I loved working with Mick and Al. Al was down to do anything, and so was Mick, and it was fun, and we beat each other up too aggressively.
Cal DeFino wants to know, did you ever have a fan try to really win the title from you or try to make a name for themselves? Not in the script, maybe like in an airport or a Waffle House.
Well, no, I didn't have it when it was the 24/7 thing. So nobody ever schooled boy me in a Waffle House. But I can tell you, if they did, it's not a good place to fight. Floors are greasy. You can't keep your footing. And if you ain't got no legs, you're gonna lose a fight. I'm just talking about fighting in Waffle House.
By the way, and they have a lot of them there.
Yeah, a lot of them.
If you said if all restaurants for factions in wrestling, I'm not dealing with the Waffle House faction.
No,
they're going over,
no.
son.
I'm going with them. I'm going to join. I'm going to turn on you. I'm going to turn on you and be with them. You know what I mean? Scattered, covered, and smothered, dog.
Aaron Pavis wants to know, SummerSlam 99, Al Snow and Boss Man ended up in a bar across from the arena.
Oh, yeah.
But what was the worst experience you ever had in a bar? I love he flipped it.
He did flip it.
He just wanted to get a bar story in.
Been a lot of fights, got lawsuits, stuff like that. Nothing ever happens good in a bar, I noticed. For me personally.
Sure. Brad Stanton wants to know, he hit us up on the AFS page, who was the best hardcore champion?
Maybe Mick. You know, he's the hardcore god. You know what I mean? So maybe Mick. Look, I loved my run. It sounded fun when we talked about it again this evening. So maybe I was, but that's real cocky of me to say. So I'm not going to go so far as to say it. Or did I?
Well, you've already been called the best IC title champ as well.
Yeah, and that guy was way wrong. Honky Tonk Man was pretty good.
Jeremy Priest, our last question says, Dogg, if you had to face Cassio in a match for the hardcore title, who would win and what would the finish be?
So
literally you.
No. I'm putting you over. I'm putting you over, and I'm thinking we're doing the splash off the top through me and the table.
Oh yeah, I gotta eat it through the table. Oh, I'm going through the table.
You're going, but you're gonna go through the table with me underneath you. Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I'm gonna catch you.
I call it the mashed potato.
That's my finish. It's the instant mashed potato. I call it
the mashed tater.
I call it the IMP.
It's a frog mash. What? It's a frog mash.
The mashed tater.
Yeah. That's it, baby.
That's it right there. That's it. Well, there's the finish. I got it. I booked it already.
That is the finish of the hardcore title episode. We appreciate y'all joining us.
Thank you so much.
Next week, Money in the Bank 2018, Road Dogg. From Rosemont, putting together dual brand ladder matches for the men and women. Ronda Rousey's first singles match. Yeah. AJ takes on Shinsuke again.
Yeah.
Carmella versus Asuka. Big Cass and Daniel Bryan continue their program. And Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn and more. That would be a fun episode there.
Yes,
a lot of meat on that bone. Also, while we're here, don't forget, you can watch all of our episodes early and ad-free over on adfreeshows.com.
Look at there. It starts at just $9.
Yeah, not just our show. Dozens of your favorite wrestling podcasts starting at just $9, like Dogg said.
Chances are you won't be interested in any of those other shows, but go ahead and give them a try, you know.
Don't say that.
Oh, I'm
sorry. You've got a lot of your friends on there.
Yeah, but I'm a better sports entertainer than a lot of them.
Well, you could watch the bi-weekly show, which is it's 2023.
I like the mailbags with Nick Patrick.
I was just going to say, mailbag, me and Nick Patrick. You can enjoy that as well. And, of course, you can enjoy the first week for free. Thanks to listening for You Didn't Know. Just go to adfreeshows.com. They're going to give you a free trial 7 days so you can get a little taste of what Ad-Free Shows is all about. If you want us to talk about your event, product, merchandise, anything you want us to talk about, you need to go to advertisewithdogg.com right now and find out more about advertising with us. We are hyper-focused 25 to 50-year-old men, and we can get the word out. You know why all of our advertisers keep coming back?
Because it works.
That's it. So go to advertisewithdogg.com. YouTube, like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what should be the finish if Dogg fought me for a hardcore title. We want you to comment in the YouTube section.
Let's first think about when the mountain critters, like we're talking about the match here. You versus me. The mountain critters haven't even split up yet.
No, we haven't even got together hardly.
Well, I mean, we're definitely together.
We're early.
We're definitely going together. But
you left your Letterman's jacket. Over here,
I have your Letterman's jacket, so that's a thing. But
you can come get your bread vinyl.
So I want. I want bread, man.
What?
My wife just.
Maybe I'ma want you.
Her day was just made. So we need to think about cool. What's the finish of the match? But man, that's like the match of the mega powers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to go back and tell that story of how they implode. how, and maybe it's a behind the scenes kind of thing, like a behind the music deal, where we show what happened between the mountain critters. And look, I'm getting deep. We got time to tell the story. We'll tell the story when it's time.
Well, go to the YouTube comments and let us know how the mountain critters break up. How about that?
There you go. Book the
Help
whole
us write the
storyline.
story.
And I want to go back. We're not talking about a year here. The mountain critters don't split up in a year and end up in a hardcore match. We go back. This goes back. This is over long arcing storytelling. So spend some time and think about this before you send
us
it in.
In the comment section in YouTube. Also in the comment section of YouTube, I want to read what's the hardest thing that person has been hit with.
Oh, okay.
But just hardcore in real life.
Yeah, in real life, like you took
maybe
a
you
bump.
got hit by a cookie sheet.
Yeah. You worked at a bakery and there was an incident one time.
I saw some friends that I worked with that were married, and she threw a stapler and hit him. And I want to be honest, it didn't look fun from my vantage point. For him.
It doesn't sound fun.
Looked fun from her side. It looked like it felt good, you know?
Yeah.
And her aim
was impeccable.
The aim on a stapler is amazing.
Was it open like a boomerang?
It opened midair.
Oh,
she threw the full thing, opened up, so it's probably loose.
That's good, though. It spread open.
Ate him alive, dude. Ate him alive. Here's a shocker. They're not together anymore.
They're not together anymore.
But at the time,
old Staplehead went...
Let us know. What's the hardest thing you've ever been hit with in the YouTube comments? That's at youtube.com/DOGG. That's where you can also see our YouTube exclusives, my friend. Plus, go get our merchandise at boxofgimmicks.com. We've got all
exclusive content at boxofgimmicks.com.
Beach towels ready for the summer. We've got, Glenn Close with a lumberjack shirt.
Look at her. She'll chop a god-darn tree down in a heartbeat.
I know why she's a lumberjack.
We used to call her three swing close. You know what I mean? Because 1, 2, and timber, dog.
Hey, Glenn Close is a lumberjack, because I'll say, well, I got one word for you. Wood. Still. Go to boxofgimmicks.com.
Oh, Lord.
And get that
there
towel
it is.
right there.
There she is.
You laying out with the biscuits and Glenn Close, and you lay down on that?
Hey, we just call it biscuits on the beach.
Hey, I need to get one because I need to see how big it is, because I'm a big boy. Hopefully we're making big beach towels.
Hopefully
you know what
it's
I mean?
not a hand towel.
No, I need it to be. I need
that son of a gun.
Them, yeah.
It needs to wrap around something.
The family can eat on it out there at the beach, you know? I need one of those.
Yeah. You don't even have to, it's so big and heavy, you don't have to put nothing on the corners. It just.
Oh, my gosh. We got to wrap up. We hadn't even did Top Dog.
Okay, let's do it.
And Thankful Minute.
Let's do them both.
We can't miss that. Are you ready? Here we go.
Ready.
Top Dog, better sports entertainer, dog. You got 3 names you got to go with today.
Okay.
Are you a better sports entertainer than Satan, Kevin Sullivan?
I don't know if I even want to tip this. Like, well, first of all, look at the 2 men beside him.
Oh, come on.
Truthfully could just do anything they want to any other men, you know what I mean?
That looks so scary.
Yeah, that's terrifying. And so I told you about the first time I ever saw him in person. Like, he was in the hotel pool with a huge python swimming in the pool. And so it was like, holy crap, what's going on here? Still love him to this day. I love when I see him and when we get to catch up. But, oh, man, that's
Come on.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
I'm a better sports entertainer than Satan. And I'll say this because the devil himself was a wrestler.
Number 2, are you a better sports entertainer than Nacho Libre?
Oh, no way.
Come on, man.
Negatory.
Legendary.
Look, that's legendary. Just that. First off, I want a bite of that corn. And second off, this is the shot where he's in those white pants and he's just kicking his butt out, like just putting the vibe out.
Hey,
stupid. I don't need the corn.
This is such a good movie.
I got to watch this again.
I was about to say, I just realized how long it's been.
Yeah,
I need to go watch it again. By the way, fun fact, our producer, Dominic D'Angelo, eats his corn on the cob long way. So that was weird. Found that out at lunch one day at StarCast.
Gag reflexes, remarkable. Incredible. Hey, came back with nothing but a cob.
It wasn't even buttered. So it was...
I don't know if they cooked it.
No, he shucked it in front of me. I know that. And last but not least, Dogg, are you a better sports entertainer than Muppet Triple H?
Oh, yes, because I gave him a lot of his lines.
There we go. So you were the writer for Muppet Triple H. That wins every time.
I was not the writer for Muppet Triple H, but I knew him and I worked with him, and we actually we were connected again because of this podcast, and Jeremy Brown, I think is the guy's name. I'm pretty sure Jeremy
we
Brown.
mentioned him before.
Yeah, and so he actually reached back out to me on Twitter, I think. But that was cool because he's a funny dude and he was an interesting cat, and he had this stuff, and it was always like I never said no to his content because it wasn't funny. It was always just me adding a thing of my own, you know what I mean? And he was always funny in writing that stuff. So kudos to you, bro. But yes, I am a better sports entertainer than a puppet. So yeah.
All right, let's spread some positivity and get out of here. Our thankful minute, 60 seconds on the clock. Road Dogg will tell you anything he is thankful for in his life. Go ahead, start the timer. Let that fuse start burning.
Yeah, this is what we call a thankful minute. And look, anytime you can stop in your head, in real life, and think of things that you have to be thankful for, it'll make you maintain a positive perspective. So the fact that I have learned stuff like that in my process of recovery and living and maturing, I'm thankful that there are programs that taught me how to live my life, that taught me how to do the mental gymnastics that is necessary to cope with life and life on life's terms. And it's not always as simple as that for people with addictions or with anxiety issues, and I deal with all of the above. And so I'm thankful for the people that went before me and found a way to maintain sobriety. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was it. Maintain sobriety, and I thank God that they did that and wrote it down so I could read it and remember it.
There you go, another one in the books, Dogg. This was a fun one.
Yeah, very good.
Fun run.
2 hours.
We got to get you a hardcore replica. That's our next thing.
Yeah. How do we do that?
We'll figure. Somebody will find us and get us one of those. We'll figure that out. They're salivating.
I can't afford it. I'm gonna tell you that much.
Well, I didn't say that, but they're gonna offer us one.
Yeah, nipple twist.
They're gonna tell us how we can get it.
I don't know why Dom just wrote nipple twist.
I think that was Nacho Libre.
Oh, my bad.
Or he was thinking about the corn again. So here we go. Another one in the books. This was a fun one. If you didn't like this, I got
2 words for you. Suck it.